We're doing this. There we go. Son of a gun. Go back there. Okay. Well, that's hideous. Wow, that's overexposed. Okay, it's a little less overexposed. Hi. It has come to my attention that when I took my AirPods out, our last workout, there went my audio. I apologize. That's really stupid of me. That was a faux pas. All right. Enough mea culpas. Let's get to work. It's pull day. Roll them shoulders. All right. So the plan today, as discussed, is to pull. Here is what we plan to do. We're going to row with the TRX. If you don't have a TRX, you can use bands for various pulling movements. You can also use a person. I will demonstrate how that is done using my spouse. That's why she ran away. She knew it was coming. All right. Do a few reaches overhead. I know I'm currently kneeling. You don't have to, but if you do, notice the difference. When you kneel, a tall kneel we call this, as you're doing these reaches, the butt has to engage and you get a very slight stretch through the quads, through the hip flexors. So I like to do some movements like that, or in a half tall kneel like that. Just makes the glutes work a little bit more, because when you stand up, there's no stretch on them, so that now everything can relax. But the minute I do this, this tightens, which pulls my pelvis that way, so my butt has to work to just keep me straight. A few more shoulder rolls. Next up, you're going to grab one of your little mini bands. These guys, I'm going to go with relatively heavy. Option one, in a kneeling position, you're just going to do that. Like you're starting a lawnmower. See this? Or a leaf blower or a chainsaw. Just a little pull. If you want to make this substantially harder, you do it in this quadruped position with the knees elevated. Ow, that hurt my thumb. So half the fun is finding a place for the hand that's down. Now this is just a lot more work. It's not a ton of work for the pulling. Like you can presumably row this much weight. It's holding this plank makes it extra challenging. Alice, why don't you join me? I'm going to give you this band.
Okay, and
so
I'm going to do
in a quadruped, however you want to hold this, I always find it either bugs my thumb or it falls off my hand, but whatever. You're going to stay really low to the ground with the knees, and then you're going to pull. Neat, right? Now, if you don't have one of these mini bands, or if you just don't feel like doing this, stand up and do some of your rows with your regular band. Hopefully, all my friends out there have some of these by now. If not, go knock on your neighbor's door. I'm sure they do. They can be looped over just about anything to do your rows. They just, looping them over anything just can't always handle a ton of weight. So that is why you want a good door anchor or something else. But in the meantime, let's do another set of these, still in this plank, this quadruped position. These are pretty tough, right, Al?
Yeah.
Surprising, isn't it?
Yep.
Get that shoulder to pinch back. Wake up your scapula. We'll do 2 sets here.
Okay. I've done one on both sides.
Bueno.
Okay.
And if you just start to hit the wall, but you want to get a few more reps, just drop the knees down and do a few more reps. Shoulder pinching back with each rep. You're just doing that motion. Simple as that. That nice little row. Like a saw, back and forth. I'm going to do one more set on my left. Knees just an inch off the ground. Shoulder back, shoulder back. And again, once you hit the wall in the core or knee or quad department, just go down to the knees. I'm gonna do 3 more.
Sounds good.
For those still doing this at home, do a couple more. Then, Alice, you can keep that yellow band. I'm
Right.
gonna switch to this guy. We're gonna do this awful one. I've made a terrible mistake. This is gonna be very hard. Elbows tucked, wrists out. This guy where we slowly push up and back. Ow, my pal, do this down here. Yeah, and a nice tall kneel. Ah, it's your Lions Den shirt.
It's
Wait.
epic.
Epic. I knew it was an animal of some sort associated with the gym. So they're Pegasuses.
Sort of. Yeah, they are. This says, what is it? Holy horsepower.
Love it.
Oh, speaking of.
Epic was a cool little studio. They closed one of them. Well, now they closed all of them for the time being, but one closed. They're like a boot camp kind of joint.
I like, hit training a lot for obstacle races. So it's a little different than what CrossFit is. And I tend to enjoy it more than the other types of things.
You can say it. Then this.
No. Different. Not compared.
So our plan next is to go play on the TRX. If you have a TRX, a Jungle Gym, that's the name of the stupid straps, or a knockoff, whatever, get ready for it. If you don't and you want to just use bands, that's fine. Option 1 with the bands. If you have a door anchor, great. You'll have it in the door and you'll be pulling. Option 2, if you don't have a door anchor and you don't want to put it around the door knob, you can do this. You stand, let me get in frame. You stand like so. There we go. This is the easier version. This is harder, where you have both sides here of the band. The wider the stance, the heavier the band, the harder it'll be. Okay, that's a one-arm row. That's what you're going to be doing. Option B is you pull a human. Human, lie supine, face me, on your back. Okay, so this is really work for both people. She's going to hold her arms like this. I'm going to get into a bent row position. And again, half the challenge is her just holding. And she's going to stay super tight in a nice strict plank. Oh, wow, you feel, is this easier today? You feel like sturdier. Keep your arms a little more flexed like that. Yeah, I know that's harder. We could put a strap around you and make that easier. So does this make sense, what I'm up to? Pulling this woman like this? If you have, I know, it can bother the wrist.
It's okay. We just have to, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, or let them figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We have played with like putting a whole big old strap around her to do deadlifts and one arm lifts and things like that. So if you have a willing child or a ferret or something that you want to lift, please do so. We're gonna all head into the kitchen now where my TRX awaits. Not my TRX, my knockoff TRX. And Alice doesn't like that I'm pejorative about my equipment. Well, that's what they opened themselves up to criticism when they plagiarized. Not that TRX invented the.
I was about to say,
things.
are we like, and
I know.
are we all about monopolies?
There's nothing new under the sun.
I was about to like.
Well, yeah, but you want to honor intellectual property, but to a point. What is that noise?
Your slow cook, your instant pot.
This one doesn't make that noise.
There you guys, you can see Sean cooking.
Well, this is new. It doesn't usually make that sound. Oh, it's probably gonna blow up. We're all gonna die. That's all. Okay, so I've got my suspension straps here. The TRX is the most well-known. They're yellow and black. They're a little more pricey, but they're a little more probably dependable just as a brand. These things, I don't even see on YouTube anymore. Different little, did I say YouTube? Amazon. Different like fly-by-night little stores open up on Amazon that you can buy these kind of things. Caveat emptor, buyer beware if you decide to do that. They're a lot cheaper, but just plug in suspension strap, and they're super adaptable, flexible, whatever. You can use them for a lot of different stuff. Okay, we're gonna row now. So I'm gonna hold on with both hands. I'm gonna lean back, and I'm gonna pull. Now the most challenging thing sometimes with these is how do you not fall down on your butt? So for my first set, I'm not going very far in, so my footing is secure. However, for my next set, I might feel like I'm gonna slide. For that, there's different options. One, you can just put a yoga mat down or something. Sometimes that's all you need, or even just if you're in sneakers, that might take care of the traction issue. But if you start going farther forward, because the more forward I go, the harder the exercise, but you can tell I'm sliding now. So you can put something there to stop you. You can have your workout partner just sit there, or you can put, I've got my little chin-up bar sitting here. I'll probably throw that down there. I'm just gonna do a few more warm-up reps here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, Alice's turn. We're gonna do a lot of this.
Great.
It's a very rowy day. Warm-up set first, even though we warmed up a little already with those bands on the floor.
They're just something kind of light.
Yeah, yeah, keep it easy. Pick like a weight you could do, a load you could do 15 times or so.
Yeah. It just feels good right now. I'm so tight. So tight today.
I like to think rowing is a nice antagonist to the stuff we do all day in internal rotation. Eliminate the slight wrist flexion you were getting there. That was only on a couple reps, so I don't think you normally do that. But just be aware of it. Shoulders squeeze back. Squeezing back. Très bien. It's just odd that it's making that noise. It's like a bomb. All right, so I am now going to, actually I don't have to lengthen my straps at all. I'm just gonna be going lower. I'm gonna walk to this thing. Oh, I never cleaned it.
He'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm back. I still have a bunch of crap on it, but you get the idea. I've just put this on the floor just so that, ignore all the straps that are hanging on it, just so that when my feet touch it, I won't go sliding. So now I walk in, my feet are against this guy, and now I can row. And this is still slightly easy for me. So my next set, I am gonna make a little heavier. In fact, I'm gonna do that now because that is still just a little too light. I'm gonna move this. Alice will probably be using it. All right, so I'm gonna be on the floor. So for me, that's a decent tension. If you really want to get directly under your straps, you would have to do a chin-up bar with the straps hanging on them, or something else, or a hook in the ceiling. So just go to failure.
Sounds good. You're so strong.
Well, all right. I'm gonna do a few more reps. I'm catching my breath for 5, 4. So I've turned this into a pause set. We're gonna take that little mini break. Royalty free only. Al's turn.
Great. Do you want me to use that thing?
Yeah.
All right.
So this will give Alice a little bit of support. She doesn't need it either, really, but let's have her go to there. Wherever you want to put your footies.
You got it. And this is just to brace me, not because you want me off.
Correct.
You want me like...
You could even do that. Just be careful. Hey, Marnes. That's not her nickname at all. There's no way. Good. Squeeze them shoulders. Nice. How heavy does that feel?
It's getting there.
Getting there? On the next set, would you like to go all the way to the dub?
Possibly.
So don't get hung up on the length of the straps, the angle of your body. Yes, there's differences, but they are small in the end. Like, the important thing is just that you do it. Don't fixate on, am I doing it right? Just like a lot of things in life. What is it? Perfection is the enemy of good.
Yeah, it just feels, I mean, everything feels a lot today, which is great. I mean, it's so needed. So I'm game for it.
All right. Now, sometimes my grip starts to bug me, and I change my hands like so. I'm going to do that now, just for kicks. It's a little easier for me, for my handies. I'm going to change the angle just a little, but again, don't overthink that at home. Just pick a tension that is heavy-ish, because we're going to be doing 4 sets. I've done 2. Got 2 more. All right. You don't want your elbows too tucked, although you may if you so choose. I like to say go out at a bit of a 45. It's kind of where I also say to do your push-ups and bench press, not flared fully out like that, nor tucked exactly here, meet in the middle, 45-ish degree. I take small break.
Good job.
Then I continue.
Good job.
All right, Alice. Let's have you go to the door now. Let's test your mettle.
Like that?
That's right. Drop your butt a little bit. Right there. Good.
Oh, it's so much harder.
A little bit. The reason it's harder, when she dropped her butt that little bit, notice the angle of her shoulder. It's more of a right angle. It's more 90 degrees. Yep. If she lets her hips get really high, now her upper traps are behind it. Upper traps are these guys. So then she would be kind of shrugging that weight. It's not the end of the world if you do that, but just in my opinion, most people already kind of have overdeveloped upper traps, especially desk jockeys.
I certainly do.
Uh-huh. And I think for shoulder health, aesthetics, all sorts of things, I think it makes sense to try to keep those out of it. If anything, we really want to focus on mid and lower traps. Not to say never train the upper traps. There's those people who say never ever shrug. I say, come on, that's silly. In fact, sometimes it's even therapeutic to, if you have funky shoulders, to do light shrugging like that with some weight, or these guys, but I actually like the overhead shrug a little more. Why? For reasons.
For reasons?
Reasons. So we watched Middleditch and Schwartz last night on Netflix.
It's funny.
It was funny. They do long form improv. It's a bit of a high bar. If you then go and see long form improv, after seeing this, you might go, what is this? Because it's usually bad. Not usually. It can be bad.
That's amazing.
We saw Upright Citizens Brigade a couple of times. They were quite good. But they're gone too. They're not going to be in New York anymore.
You know that? I don't know.
Yeah, that's sad.
It's very sad.
But yeah, Netflix, Middleditch and Schwartz.
It's funny stuff.
Funny. All right, another round. If you're just joining us, I've got the grip like that just for kicks. By no means am I suggesting you do that. I might even switch halfway through this to go back. I just caught myself getting a little shruggy. Everything I was just railing against, Alice.
You were railing against it.
Railing, ranting. I was doing an Albert Finney network. I'm gonna do 3 more. Your turn. Was that 3? It's taking
Yes.
forever. We have 1 more to do after this.
Oh my goodness gracious,
Yeah.
Sean. I'll do the thing for this one. The next one I might jump back to that.
Okay.
You know what I'm feeling already is the forearms.
Try. I'm gonna contradict myself here. Try my trick.
The wrap.
So you just put your hand
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Grip
I'm
like
into it.
that.
I'm into it.
You can't do that on all straps, just these. And be aware the foam handle is going to dig into your wrist a little.
I'm into it.
But yeah, there's that.
It's not. It's a foam handle. How much can it possibly dig?
Oh, around a PVC pipe.
It's comfy. It's like a pillow for my wrist.
That's the Instant Pot. Good. Keep squeezing those shoulders back. Is it smoky in here or my glasses just filthy?
I don't know. Open up the window.
No, it's my glasses. They're always smoky. I mean, filmy. Good. And then after this, have I got a treat for you? We're going to do something slightly different.
Oh my gosh. Holy moly.
Check it out. This thing we did earlier, right? These guys. We're going to combine that with a row, okay? Here's the deal. Get this on. It's about where a wristwatch would be. And while you do your row, you're going to slightly pull apart, not the elbows, the wrists. So this is wrong. See, I went elbow, not wrist. This is what you want. You want to stretch the hands wider than the elbows, all while doing these rows. I won't do that little silly trick of slipping my hands through because I'm not going to get as many reps this way. Don't go with a very heavy mini band because this is surprisingly hard. All right.
Go, Shiny.
See, it's just a regular row otherwise. But as I come toward the top, I'm stretching my hands outward. Elbows still stay slightly in. And these are going to become really painful really quickly, so I'm actually going to do not just a pause set, but a drop set. Ugh. One reason this is so tough is because basically your upper back, a lot of those muscles are doing double duty. It's rotator cuff. It's some muscles responsible both for pulling and for externally rotating your shoulder. Muscles in the body have more than one job. That is partly why, if you get an injury, you can still produce a movement. Basically, there's redundancies. Oh, that was hard. So let's say a bicep is fully severed. You can still produce elbow flexion because of these guys and these guys. Stuff on the sides, basically, they don't have as good leverage. And so that's why sometimes you get pain doing that sort of thing. But we have evolved this ability so that we don't die. Al, that is excruciating what I just did. Here you go, round the wrist. But yeah, that is why you should really feel this in that upper back, behind the shoulders.
How do I spread the thing apart?
So as you rise, keep your elbows somewhat in, but stretch the wrists. Yeah, stretch that band. It's not going to go far.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, it's a really hard exercise.
Let's drop down this.
I forget if I have a lighter band.
No, don't worry. I mean, it's just, no, it's fine. I just need to drop down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the total amount of work you are going to be doing is much greater when you add this thing, because it's adding another vector. Good. At the very top, keep going. At the very top, don't be as high there. Be more at 90 degrees in the elbow. Perfect. Good.
Interesting. Yeah, because.
Yeah, just a bit of that. Good. It doesn't have to go crazy. Don't try to get the band to its max. Like, don't do your full range of motion external. Just do a good bit.
I think I'm trying to do my full range and it's not going anywhere. That is my full range.
No, it looks good. Good. If anything, just think of keeping the band taut.
Now, if you are feeling these kind of things in your neck too much, try to even more sit into the movement. So let's say Alice was feeling her neck. She would do more of what she just did. Can do a few more without that. Good call. Nice. And notice she's got her chin just slightly tucked, her chest up. It's no promises, but sometimes that'll take stress out of the neck. Good.
That's one.
I'm just going to demo that which I was talking about a second ago. So if doing these rows is just getting you too much in the neck, just try even more of a sitting down and think of your elbows now going down more as opposed to flaring out. That might help alleviate that. A little more of this motion versus that. It's a slight change. All right. Speaking of which, we are now going to do a piked pull where we stay at a very steep angle like this.
Cool.
Yeah, remember those? I'm going to leave this way out there like that. The only problem here is that I don't know if that thing is far enough, so I might even have you sit down there and let me put my feet against you and vice versa.
Okay, let's
We'll
figure
see
out
how it
where
goes.
you're,
So, here's the deal. I walk my feet in pretty far. Now, my head does not go above the straps. You see that? So I'm here, or if it does, it's only like an inch. So I'm not going to rise up like this. I'm going to stay low, drop my butt back, and pull that way. Make sense? So it's a little more like a chin up or a lat pull machine. When we do a row, we pull horizontally or perpendicularly to the body. When you do a lat pull or a chin up, it's that way. That's what we're trying to replicate here. You're going to be pitched way over, pulling like that, as opposed to the last exercise, which we did like that. Yeah, Alice, can I recruit you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have you sit there so I don't slide. I could put our karaoke machine there.
You could put shoes on.
I've tried that. I do kind of still slide. All right. Actually, can you put them down? I'm going to do that. Wait, is that going to hurt you?
He asked if it was going to hurt me because he's standing on the tops of my feet.
Yeah. Does it hurt?
No.
So shoulders down and back. And shoulders down and back. Elbows can be either slightly in front like this, or they can go out to the side, just as long as you don't straighten upright. Don't lift your chest. Don't round your back. Don't have crappy posture. But don't turn it into a row. We already did rows. This one is much more lat pull. I'm going to take a moment. Please do not flee. Or Anthony Kiedis. Can't name any others.
Okay, your turn. We will do 2 sets of these. There you go. That's incredibly painful. Just kidding.
Move this foot like a little bit forward there.
There we go. Yep, so she's sitting back. That's a little far, but you have the right idea. Do you want me to move toward me a little? It looks like it's too easy for you. Is that great? Because for you, it might be better to actually, height-wise, if I put the things back. I don't know. Does that feel like work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I need your feet.
All right.
My feet, for some reason, stay.
That is because you're more reptilian than I.
I think it's because I don't take care of my feet the way Sean does. He puts lotion on his feet at night. Makes them baby soft.
How often though? Weekly?
I don't know.
I went through a phase I was doing it a lot. I've been forgetting of late. But you're right, to my detriment. Now that's why I'm sliding all over. Good. How's the work?
It's good.
It should be. I wanted also something a little lighter than the first set. So it's not only, we didn't only change the angle, the movement, we changed the tension. It's a higher rep range. Oh, and by the way, if you don't have straps, sorry to tell you this now, just lean over to do your band pulls. So if you've got that band in the door, just pitch way over to do your rowing. All right, I'm actually gonna just do regular chin-ups next, but also I'm gonna demonstrate what I'm talking about. One of these days I'm gonna crack that tile again. Can you rotate that ever so slightly toward me? If you don't have straps, but you wanna keep pulling, and you wanna be in this more parallel to your body angle, put your band in the door, either use an anchor, or I'm just slipping this around the doorknob. Now when I close the door, either it'll fully close or not, doesn't matter. It's not going anywhere. Now I can do this pulling. I've just got it around my wrist, then I squeeze, I lean way over like that. So my butt's way back, I'm hinged at the hip, trying to keep my back flat, and now I just pull in like this. Same idea. If you have multiple bands, you can connect them so that the weight isn't so progressive. You know, you want it more steady. Right now it's slack and it gets very heavy, so you could change that by connecting multiple bands. But if you don't, that's okay. And now I'm doing like a chin-up or a lat pull down. Make sense?
Yes.
Was a good idea until I apparently couldn't get the door open. It is better if you have a door anchor for that reason. And I saw another thing somebody doing with a towel to wedge it in the door, which it's like, all right. But the $9 thing on Amazon, the anchor, makes more sense to me. All right, I don't feel like taking my straps off, so I'm just gonna do this all whatever-y. Alice, this is a pigsty. I haven't straightened this up in a while. Okay.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
All right, I'm going to do just a few of these guys. It's incredibly annoying hitting that strap, but it's not the end of the world. I will do like 3 more in a second.
Good job.
Tippy Bird, drinking Tippy Bird is still going. He's been going for like 18 hours.
Yeah.
That was a little swingy, but who cares? Al's turn. So one more round of these pitched forward thingamabobs.
I'm excited.
It would have been quicker, I know.
No, it's great. No criticism. Drop it. Doesn't hurt my hands. We're doing a great job. All of the things.
Here she goes in that pitched over pose-ish. There you go with the yawning. Very good. Just pushing hips back. Staying, in fact, Alice, lift your hips even a little higher. Keep your high other way, like that way. Keep that even more as you go. Yeah, that's it. In fact, as you go back, extend your knees just slightly. Straighten your knees just slightly. But still stay over, so don't hit my hand. Yeah, go ahead and go back. That's it, even more like that. I know, it feels weird. It's just a way to get the lats more. It puts them in the line of pull. Makes sense. It is a little nitpicky, and it's not like if you do it with a little more of an upright chest, it's not like you're messing something up. This is partly just because we're doing a lot of volume here, so we want to mix it up. We don't just want to do, 8 sets of the same type of row. We want to do multiple sets of just with slight variations. There you go.
All right.
Hey, we're done with that.
Cool.
So we did some rowing, then we did some pulling down, and now we're gonna do pull aparts with a slight pull down. So I put my anchor in the door. This is the one I'll be kneeling. And I'm going to be pulling across like that with both arms. I'm going to be stretching the band apart. And because it's coming from up there and I'm kneeling, it's fighting me from above. So that just works me a little bit more. However you want to hold, you could do that kind of thing where you flip your hands around it. Whatever works. I have found nothing is terribly comfortable. It's all equally irritating. So I've got it in this sort of triangle shape. Now I pull apart. You get the idea? So I'm bringing it to my mid-chest while stretching the band apart. If this is too challenging, stand up so that you are not fighting the down as much. And also, you don't have to be as narrow on the band. If you widen your hands on it a little, it won't give you as much tension. Speaking of neck stuff, I will do 4 more. All right, if you want to hold it like that, there you go. Now she can try. There you go. You can try kneeling or you can try standing. Yeah, nothing is ever terribly comfortable. More pull apart, not row. So that, oh yeah, that's good. You're pretty far. I mean, that's going to be some work. Good. You're doing well with that much tension. If you feel your shoulders rising, if you start to fatigue too much, you can stand. And then you can also shimmy your hands apart a little more on that thing, so you're not fighting as much. Yeah, it's heavy. And remember, don't pull it down too much, just up mid-chest.
Okay. I don't fully understand, sorry.
Just think more pull apart versus pull down. Yeah, more of that. And the band being above you, that is just adding an extra vector. So you could pull slightly down, but just think apart for right now. It's more important that you pull it apart than down. Good. Very good. I'm gonna have you right at the finish here. Switch to this. We're gonna do a superset. Grab this guy. Let go of the red band. Now just do a few pull aparts like that. Here you go. That's the main movement. This just adds another little ornamentation, a little zhuzh.
Where should I be feeling this?
Well, upper mid back, back of the shoulder. Try not to get it in the neck, but sometimes it's easier said than done. I'm going to do this now. Let me do that.
Great.
So the way I like to do it is the hands like this, then just once around them, and then the thumbs just kind of come loose. And then your main job here is pulling apart. It does go down a little, but think mainly apart. The elbows should stay mostly straight. Maybe they have a teeny bend, like a 3-degree bend. And like I was saying to Alice, I'm trying not to feel this in my neck, but I might a little. Okay. Why don't you do your last set just with that? Did you take a moment? Did you rest for a second? All right, she's going to do one last set here with the red band.
And then you want to, what's next?
What is next is that we're going to curve.
Okay.
I think you're up to the black band for that.
Don't know. Oh, yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah. Did I carry that in? Where did I put that black band? That's what I grabbed it.
What's a mess?
Yeah, it's getting there. Oh, there it was.
All right, this
Hot to
is
see.
like
Had it?
all top of my shoulders.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Girls.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Take your band, whatever you think you can manage. You can either just step on it with 1 or 2 hands, or if you want extra tension, you can go really wide like that, or you can flip once around each foot. So I'm making a loop there and a loop there. Not the most comfortable thing, but it'll get the job done. And now I can do curls with.
I'll fix it.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I can do curls with a little extra help. Not help, hindrance. A little extra weight. Not pleasant barefoot.
Not pleasant either, though.
So we're just doing curls.
Sean has his wrapped around the foot. I'm taking a big wide stance because everything is cramped and tight from work last week. So space is definitely what's needed. Just feels better to be wide.
I'm hitting a wall, so I am now untangling the thing. And I'm going to do a few more rounds like this. There you go. So we call these hammer curls. When your palm stays neutral like this. This is supinated, this is pronated. with the band, maybe you could make a case for turning upright. I say for right now, just stick with hammer. Is MC Hammer still alive?
Yes.
He didn't catch COVID, did he?
I don't know.
He seems like he would have.
You're the one who's reading all the COVID news.
I am
That's not.
I am reading COVID news.
How many sets of these are we doing? Is this it?
Oh, this can be it. Let's just do one long awful set.
Okay.
Take a little mini break, and then do a few more. And then after this, we're almost done. We're just gonna go to the floor to do one last thing.
Cool. I feel like I pulled a lot of things.
I'm gonna do 5 more reps.
What are you excited about for the weekend?
I want to kind of go to the farmer's market, which I didn't think was open. I just assumed they were closed. But then I saw a thing online talking about how to find out if yours are open, and sure enough, I checked and it is. But
Great.
not all the farmers will necessarily be there. I wouldn't if I was them. All right, let's go in there.
Great. You got it?
You just move the whole table.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the whole table.
Yeah. We gotta work on this. Cheese moving monkey.
That's me. All right. We're gonna keep this pleasant.
So the better
Keep this
angle?
nice. Should be good.
Okay.
We just want the flow. We're just gonna do some back extension right here on the ground. I went through a phase where I didn't do any of these. And then I was like, wait a minute, why not? And I read some convincing things. So option 1, you're gonna be lying fully face down. Alice, you can start that and just lift your chest. Go ahead, I'm gonna show them the option B.
You said cat cows?
No, you'll be lying face down.
Okay, on the ground.
Yeah,
Okay.
so option 1, without pushing with your hands, just lift your chest. So you can either lift your arms like she did, or now go back down, or just keep them light. So lift your chest, but like no weight in the arms. So she didn't do like an assisted back extension. Her arms are just chilling out. So option 1, they're up. Option 2, they're just lightly down. Now, if for whatever reason that bothers your low back, option 2 is some bird dogs. So Alice can keep doing those. I'm gonna show you option 2. That is right arm, left leg are out, and you just lift and lower them. So right arm, left leg, up and down, not too high. Do like 15 to 20 per side, and don't move your low back. Balance a tray of drinks on your low back. I'm gonna do the back extension. So it's not like these are super advanced or anything. They just, in some people, might provoke some low back pain. So for them, the bird dogs are probably recommended. Now there are much harder versions of this, but I think for today, we will keep it nice and gentle. Not that this is gentle, just won't do the super advanced ones. I'm gonna do about 15 more, and then we're done. This was a relatively quick one. Back day, when you're dividing it up this way, pull day can be a little shorter. Leg day and push day can just tend to have more stuff. If you feel your feetsies lifting off the ground a little, that's okay. Don't force them up, don't intentionally lift them. But if they want to come up, don't fight them. I think I want to do this last one, and that is it for me. Okay, goodbye everyone. I'll see you tomorrow for
I'll have my
leg day.
energy. I'll be excited. I was excited today. I was just tired.
Alice is working her butt off.
Bye.
Bye, end stream. I'll end the YouTubers first today, and I'll end Instagrams.